Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the School of Science. My name is Luke and this is the Everton Stadium update. Now as we go over the stadium today, there are quite a few things to mention. So we have got things for the East Stand, South Stand, West Stand and a little bit for the North Stand. But overall there's a decent amount to talk about today and this will actually be a fairly decent video. I mean, we're not going to be going back to the old 11-12 minute videos because I'm not doing double runs on the stand as of yet. But this might actually change as time goes on because the cladding is actually obscure in certain parts of view and everything. So these are probably things I'm going to have a look at in the very near future, especially when the South Stand starts getting its cladding, which is meant to be soon. That is just a situation that we will talk about when the South Stand comes into frame. But yeah, as we go over the East Stand of the Fan Plaza right now, you can see that the barrel trusses are actually coming into shape now. So they are going the way I was expecting it. So it is centre through to the South Stand. And chances are the next set will be going from centre to the North Stand. Chances are though this might be when the North Stand has finished its top cladding, because I don't expect them to want to, clad when it comes to that sort of thing. That can be a bit of a nuisance. But do note, I did actually pass over this when I was going quite low, so it was just to actually get a good detail of everything that's going on around the front, as well as getting like a bit more of a unique angle when it came to the barrel trusses, because I know a lot of the time I like to sort of go like a top third looking down. But I gave this a little try just to see what you guys think. Did you enjoy it like this? Just let me know in the comments below. Also, just as a side note as well, I had a little look at the Everton video, and it's actually surprising how high the seating actually goes inside the stadium itself. So where you can see the very roof itself, you can, well, I'd probably say about 10 to 15 feet below is probably the limit of the seats themselves. So that is definitely one to be looking at in the future. I'm going to definitely have a look into that as well, because I'm curious as to how high up these actually go. Because if you're sitting at the very back, and you'll know what it's like around Goodison and that, when it comes to sit at the very back of, say, like the Gladys Street, if the fans are standing up, the roof and the people make it so that you're looking basically through a letterbox. But now, as we go over the South Stand at the moment, one thing to note, and you can't see them here, but you will see them when it comes to the North Stand, you can see that the temporary blue supports are coming down now, so they are moving them down. They were started that last week, so the entire South Stand roof is self-supporting now, so that's one good thing to note. I know a lot of people were actually concerned that those things might be somewhat permanent, but rest assured, those trolls did not get their way. It is going down now. And also as a note, you can't see it particularly here, but you can actually see it in this image right here. You can actually see that the rake beams are making progress, and this image has been taken from the recent Everton video, so that is one to note. You will have to have a look at that Everton video. They cover quite a lot there. And I've noticed as well, the North and South Stand, the framework for the mega screens has went into place around there, so that is definitely one that's going to be nice to see in the future. Once those big screens go into place, it'd be nice to see them in the match as well. And one note as well, in regards to the South Stand as well, so we know that the Everton Way stones and plaques and all them that are going into place, I have had a couple of people say that could potentially be the reason why there has been a slight delay, because those things are going to take a fair while to actually make, because there's an awful lot of them, and they're going to have to get laid in as well. So for them to have used them to add funds is a good business sense to do, but it has caused a very slight delay, which is a bit of a bummer. But to be fair, we've waited absolutely decades for this stadium to come into place. We've had, the likes of Kingstock that went south. We had Walton Hall Park, we had Kirby, we've had a lot of sites that were potential new Everton sites, and they all went awry. So for us to have this right now, I am more than willing to wait a bit longer than expected for the new stadium to come in, because I've waited long enough as it is. But one thing to note as well about the West Stand, so we can see that the cantilever trusses, they are going into place now, so we are seeing more of them week by week. But one thing to note as well, so in the northwest corner, you can actually see in the Everton video, they do mention it, that is where the TV studio is going to be. So if ever they do broadcasting from Bramley Moor, that is where you're going to have the view from. So it's going to be from the northwest corner, looking into the stadium itself. So that's definitely one to keep an eye out for whenever Sky Sports, BN Sports, or BT Sports do any broadcasting in the stadium itself. So that's one that I'm really excited about. So Now, for the North Stand, as you can see, there's been a little bit of cladding added. Who am I kidding? There's over a third of the North Stand now covered. Well, the North Stand roof that has been covered. So you can actually see the actual cladding there. So the cladding itself is fairly small in regards to the actual scale of things. And there's been a couple of questions in regards to how the South Stand's meant to be going. So the South Stand itself, there is a slight delay on that one just for the fact that you've got to take into account the solar panels that are going to be installed. So whether they do the cladding first and then the solar panels second, or vice versa, is anyone's guess. I'm going to say it's going to be the cladding, then the solar panels, because chances are what they'll do is they'll have the entire cladding put into place, and then they'll put the solar panels on top of the cladding. Because solar panels in these days, they're reasonably thin, so it won't make too much of a difference in terms of the actual architectural design of it. But in Everton news at the moment, we have actually heard that apparently there are new members to the board. Mashidi has also joined the board temporarily to fill in as a stopgap. And apparently Ken Wright is going to be staying until the end of the 23-24 season. Now, personally, I don't 100% agree on this one. In my personal opinion, I would think it would have been better to give Ken Wright more of a ceremonial role at the club where he doesn't really have any decision-making or power. Kind of like how Sir Alex Ferguson's got a ceremonial role at Manchester United. Something along those lines would have been more ideal rather than keeping him on as the chairman. But in any case, guys, this is now the end of the video. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope this weather does calm down because it is absolutely scorching right now in the office. But in any case, take care, have a great week, and peace.